Haunting violin notes fill the street. Commuters surge past, a river of indifference. A sharp voice cuts through. Ancient noise! Who listens to this dinosaur music? Laughter follows. The bow freezes. An old man's head dips slowly. The melody dies. The crowd flows on. Dust motes dance in the morning light filtering through a small window. A neatly made bed, a worn armchair, walls adorned with sepia-toned photographs and faded concert programs. An old man, Elias, rises slowly, his movements deliberate. He moves to a small table where a dark velvet-lined case rests. His hands, gnarled but steady, unlatch it with reverence. Inside, an antique violin gleams softly. He takes a clean cloth, meticulously wiping every curve, every string. Each stroke is a silent conversation, a memory held. A framed photo on the table shows a smiling woman, Clara, her eyes mirroring the warmth in Elias's own. He pauses, a faint smile touching his lips, then gently closes the case. He walks through bustling streets, the city a symphony of car horns, distant sirens, and hurried footsteps. Glass towers reflect the morning sun, sleek and indifferent. Young faces glued to glowing screens rush past. Business suits stride with purpose, coffee cups clutch tight. The air hums with urgency, a rhythm Elias doesn't quite match. He finds his usual spot near an ancient oak in the square, a small island of calm in the urban tide. He opens the case again, the violin a familiar weight in his hands. His bow touches the strings. A classical melody, intricate and profound, begins to weave through the chaos. It's not a performance for applause, but a quiet offering. The notes carry echoes of laughter, of shared evenings, of a love that still resonates within him. His posture is straight, his gaze distant, lost in the music. Coins sometimes clink into the open case, but he rarely acknowledges them. His focus remains on the purity of the sound, the discipline of his craft. People glance, some frown, some whisper, their words indistinct, but their expressions clear. A couple in bright athletic wear sidesteps him, their conversation about digital trends uninterrupted. A small child points, fascinated by the old man and his instrument. The child's mother quickly tugs their hand, pulling them away, a fleeting shadow of disapproval crossing her face. The blinds of a nearby cafe are drawn. Elias continues to play, his melody a quiet counterpoint to the city's roar, a forgotten language in a world that has learned new tongues. He finishes a piece, his hand instinctively polishing the worn wood of his violin, a silent act of devotion to a world that seems to have left him behind. A vibrant morning buzzes through the square. Elias, deeply immersed, draws his bow across the strings. Bach's intricate notes, a cascade of pure sound, rise above the city's hum. His fingers dance, a lifetime of practice flowing through them, creating a tapestry of melody. The music is a quiet island in the urban tide. A sudden booming voice shatters the air. "Look at this guy," it shouts, amplified by a phone held high. Trendy Tunes Tony stands there, a smirk on his face, his camera pointed directly at Elias. His entourage laughs, a jarring chorus. Seriously? This ancient noise? Who listens to this dinosaur music anymore? Tony scoffs, his voice dripping with condescension. He's practically blocking the sidewalk with his antique act. Swipe up, folks, if you want to see real talent. His friends snicker, some mimicking Elias's playing with exaggerated mocking gestures. Elias's bow falters. The beautiful notes dissipate into the air. His hand, usually so steady, trembles visibly as he lowers the violin. His gaze drops to the worn wood of his instrument, then to the cracked pavement. A profound sadness clouds his eyes. He stands silently, absorbing the public mockery, offering no argument, no defense. The crowd, initially drawn by the music, now turns its attention to Tony's spectacle. Some laugh along, a few pull out their own phones, not to record the music, but the influencer's performance. Others simply avert their eyes, pretending the scene isn't unfolding before them. The humiliation washes over Elias, a cold, bitter wave. Tony's words echo in the sudden, uncomfortable silence, making Elias feel small, invisible, and utterly out of place. He feels the familiar sting of judgment, amplified by the public display, broadcast to an unseen audience. He wishes the ground would swallow him whole, to disappear from the harsh glare of the phone camera and the indifferent stares. The city's rhythm, once a distant hum, now feels like a mocking beat, highlighting his isolation. He just stands there, a quiet figure, enduring the indignity. Elias's hands, still trembling slightly, carefully place the violin back into its case. The familiar weight feels heavier than usual. He turns, his back to the indifferent crowd, and walks away from the square. The city's vibrant sounds, once a backdrop to his music, now seem muted, a dull hum of ongoing life that no longer includes him. He finds a quiet, cold bench a few blocks away, seeking refuge from the public gaze. The humiliation stings, a raw wound unacknowledged. He sits there, lost in thought, the concrete beneath him offering no warmth, feeling utterly alone, a forgotten melody in a world that rushes past. Unseen by Elias, a young woman named Maya had witnessed the entire exchange. She had been captivated by Elias's soulful playing, a quiet beauty amidst the urban clamor. Her heart ached as Trendy Tunes Tony's cruel words cut through the air. Disgusted by the influencer's arrogant display, Maya had secretly filmed the entire incident on her phone. Her recording captured Elias's beautiful performance, Tony's mocking ridicule, and Elias's quiet, dignified retreat. Without a moment's hesitation, Maya uploaded her video to a popular online platform. Her caption was simple, heartfelt, and powerful. "This is what real talent sounds like. Don't let ignorance silence art. Find Elias. Let's show him he's heard." Maya's video spread like wildfire. Within minutes, it exploded across online music communities, art forums, and among countless individuals who valued kindness and respect. Comments flooded in. "Where is he? We need to find this man. This is heartbreaking. We must support him." True artists deserve respect, not ridicule. Calls to locate Elias and celebrate his music became a rallying cry across the internet. The digital world, often a source of fleeting attention, now pulsed with a collective desire for justice and recognition. Days later, Elias, a flicker of his old self returning, finds himself back at his spot in the square. He plays a soft, melancholic tune, a quiet comfort in his solitude. Suddenly, a small group of young musicians approaches him. They carry guitars, flutes, and a small drum. They look at him, their faces warm with respect, and then, one by one, they begin to play along with his melody, creating a beautiful, spontaneous symphony that fills the square. More people arrive, not just musicians, but ordinary citizens holding signs. "We hear you, Elias." "Respect the art," they read. They bring flowers, small gifts, and warm smiles. The square, once a place of indifference, now vibrates with warmth, solidarity, and the harmonious sound of music, a crescendo of support for the unheard melody. The sudden, beautiful symphony in the square quickly draws a crowd. News cameras, alerted by the viral video, arrive, their lenses capturing the heartwarming scene. Elias, surrounded by a burgeoning community of supporters, speaks softly into a microphone. His quiet story of lifelong dedication to music and the recent humiliation touches hearts across the city and beyond. He lifts his violin, a newfound joy in his eyes, and plays a piece he composed for Clara, his music filling the square, no longer unheard. He shares fragments of his musical journey, the challenges and joys, and his wife's unwavering belief in his art. For the first time in years, Elias feels truly seen, truly heard, and deeply appreciated. Trendy Tunes. Tony's online presence collapses under a wave of backlash. His follower count plummets, and several major brands swiftly withdraw their endorsements. He posts a brief, insincere apology online, but the public has already rendered its judgment. The city, moved by Elias's story, announces a new Street Artists Respect initiative, ensuring that all performers are protected and celebrated. The square now features a beautiful permanent Elias's Corner, marked by an elegant plaque honoring his artistry and resilience. This dedicated space ensures that artists like Elias will always have a respected place to share their gifts. Elias's life transforms. He is no longer a solitary figure. A vibrant community now surrounds him. Young musicians, inspired by his story and talent, seek him out for lessons, eager to learn from his classical wisdom while sharing their modern styles. The square becomes a hub where generations of artists connect, sharing melodies and stories. Strangers approach Elias, sometimes wordlessly, sometimes with tears, simply to thank him for his music and his spirit. Maya, the young woman who filmed the original video, becomes a regular visitor, often sitting and listening, sometimes even playing alongside him. The nearby cafe, which once ignored him, now offers him free coffee and a warm welcome. On its wall, beside the plaque, a simple quote reads, "True art doesn't shout for attention, it waits to be heard, and true respect amplifies the quietest melodies." Elias never sought fame, he just wanted his music to live. Now his melody resonates far and wide, reminding everyone that kindness can amplify forgotten voices, and true dignity will always find its audience.